I just want to tell you that I did meet Jerry Peels. He's getting in an IMO truck. I was driving by and I seen an IMO truck. I said to myself, you know, that could be Chucky. And let me go over and give him my condolences. But I walk in Famous Lunch and it's Peels. Like I walked in, I'm like, Jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas. Hi. What's going on? What time is it? Not around 9. All right. Just doing a documentary. Thanks. Yeah, I did a video here this morning. Ooh, look at this Camaro, man. Yeah, Jerry Peels, man. Look at this baby. Bum 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 bum. Jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas. I'm looking. Wow, this guy is scared of me. What am I? I mean, what, do I look like the devil or something? Gotta show us your dogs here. I don't know what. I'm not gonna ask her. I was almost gonna go up to her and say, do I look like the devil? I mean, maybe I do. I don't know what it is. Well, it's the hair, you know. I'm like, you know, I'm riding a bike, got a backpack, got long hair. Don't worry, I got the dye in my book bag. I look like hell on wheels here, man. Jumping Jack Flash, it's a gas. I had one guy, you know, he had his little tote bag and everything, and maybe I should ask her. You know, staring straight ahead, man. Just like when I'm at my relatives, man. It's like they don't even see me. I don't know who to ask, man. Hi. Can I ask you something? Do I look like a freak? Because I got a camera and a book bag, you know, I'm running around. I'm trying to start a radio show, but what do I look like? I mean, your honest opinion, whatever jumps at you, like. It would help a lot because I'm trying to go up and be friendly. I'm on Facebook. I do these street interviews and stuff.
Right.
I mean, I'm definitely more like a Republican kind of guy, you know, and so I don't fit in right now, right?
Okay. Is that right? It seems like they just took back the Senate.
So then the people spoke.
Well, that seems like they are fitting in, I guess.
No, but I'm all for. I'm all for them coming together. That's the whole thing. I mean, I figured they should have came together. You have to work together. If you don't work together, then we have what we have right now, right? If we don't work together. Politicians, America. You know, America seems to be divided, and it's just a matter of someone coming here and just like, you know, tying up the loose ends and having people come together. It's like, you know, I mean, come on, we all have faults.
What do you mean by loose ends?
There's something that just needs to be tied together.
What?
I don't know. Do you know? Do you know?
Well, no, I'm not agreeing with you that something needs to be tied together. So I'm not.
Well, then what has to happen? What do you think has? I mean, what do you think? Are you happy with the way things are today?
No, not at all.
So what do you think might have to happen for things to be? I mean, because it seemed a lot
better.
Peaceful in the 90s and 80s, stuff like that, 70s. You know, I was born in 71.
Well, what happened? You know, there's this guy named Ronald Reagan. You might have heard of him.
All right, I'm ready to listen.
And he came with a big tax cut.
What about Clinton, though? I mean, Clinton.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Towards the richest American.
All right.
Okay. And how did he get that tax cut approved? How did he push that through? Well, he offered a plan to the Congress that they would raise the payroll taxes, okay, in order to cover the shortfall. And so we've been paying a lot more in payroll taxes for anybody that's making an hourly wage, that's, you know, making, that's not rich, while the rich have been getting richer. And you see this, you know, you look back then, the top 1% had something like 20% of the nation's wealth. And today the top 1% has,
right,
you know,
So you think Obama has been
40
trying
something,
to
50.
stop, trying to change all that by everything he's been
No, I
doing?
think Obama is a freaking Republican. He's a Dino, a Democrat in name only. He follows all the same bullshit policies, which amazes me that the Republicans are even so much against him because he's one of their own. Obama, what's he done for me? I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's a difference in America today between economic politics and social politics. And Obama, you know, supporting gay rights, supporting, etc.
Well, he knows he's going to
He's
get
very
votes.
much
Go
a-
Latinos, go with this, go
Right.
with that. I mean,
He's very
you
much
know,
a
yeah.
social liberal, okay, or a social democrat. But economically, he hasn't done anything for us. He hasn't
Yeah.
done anything for the little guy. But none of the Republicans want
start
to do
off-
anything for the little guy either. So
Yeah.
that's the problem in America's politics today. Is there's too much power by corporations, there's too much power by the rich, and once you are getting millions of dollars from these people, you can't turn around and say, well, screw them.
Did you grow up around this area, like in the 80s or 90s?
No, I grew up in New York State, but downstate, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, like when, in the 80s and 90s, this place was like booming. There were so many places, especially in the 80s. In the 80s, there was just so many businesses.
Yep.
Even back, even going back further. I mean, that decline. I mean, it's like it's just, you could just tell it just ripped out the middle class and small businesses and everything.
Right.
It just took it all away.
Yeah.
I
and
mean, the
that's-
inflation is just incredible right now. The inflation. I mean.
Well, I don't think inflation's really that high. Why?
No?
What's your, where are you getting the
Well, you go to market, you go to a market, it's like, I mean, steaks, like $15.99 for two.
Yeah.
Or what? I mean, I'm not big a steak eater. I'm just when my mother goes
Right.
shopping.
No,
Lamb chops
no.
or veal or stuff like that, like the meat,
Yeah. I mean, we've always had
Unless you're
inflation.
vegetarian,
Yeah, but we've always had inflation, so
Yeah. So I mean, inflation right now is the same as it ever was, like compared like in the 80s or 90s.
I don't think it's extremely high. I think what's happening is there are a lot more people that don't have solid jobs. The minimum wage hasn't kept up with inflation. The minimum wage today.
What do you think it should be? You think it should be definitely like 11 an hour or something? Even
between
for
11 and 15.
minimum, right? Even if
Well, I would
even if
say-
you're
I mean, I
16
think
years
that-
old.
See, that's the thing is that they have plenty of programs. They have like work-study programs and things like that where they have internships. They
Yeah.
have all this stuff where people, if a minimum wage of $13 an hour is too much, well, there's a lot of internships, there's a lot of apprenticeships, there's a lot of different things that people can do to start somebody off that doesn't really know what they're doing, so that they're not paying some person that has no clue,
Yeah.
$13 an hour. Now, mind you, your supermarkets, things like that, are not going to be able to do that. But see, this is the problem. A lot of people say, "Oh, minimum wage should be $15 an hour." The problem I find with that is that if you just cut the payroll taxes, okay, you wouldn't have to raise minimum wage so much. Payroll taxes are paid half by the employee and half by the employer. You know that, right?
Well, how come they don't do that? I mean, you know what should be done. Are they even discussing
Well, the
it?
thing is this.
Is anyone discussing it like on?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Wow.
So the thing is this, right? You pay, I don't know. Let's say it's $1 an hour. I don't know what the exact.
Yeah.
Right now it's $8, so $1 an hour would be. I think it's probably more than that actually. I'm not sure what I haven't made minimum wage. I haven't had it taken out like that, so I don't really have a number there for you. But let's just take the example of you get $1 an hour taken out for Social Security and for Medicare, right? So those are payroll taxes. Now your employer is also paying $1 an hour, okay? So that's costing the employer $2 per hour. It's costing him double because he pays half and you get half taken out of your paycheck, okay? Now, if you were to lower that, if you were to cut that in half, and you paid 50 cents and he paid 50 cents, now his total of that expense is only $1, and yet you just got a 50-cent raise because you're not paying that extra 50 cents. I think it might be closer to $2 an hour, in which case you would get $1 raise. Okay?
You're
with me,
saying
right?
Reagan did this?
Reagan started it. It's not
Yeah.
just Reagan. It's been going on ever since Reagan. But how would you do that? Okay, well, how would you, because everybody says, oh, Social Security, blah, blah, blah. Social Security was never meant, when they started Social Security, they didn't have any money in the bank to pay the people that were receiving it. So they took money in and paid it out. It was made to be a pay-as-we-go system. People say, oh, 10 years down the road, blah, blah, blah. 10 years down the road, freaking BS. We're talking about what comes in now has to go out now. 10 years down the road, whatever. But you want to solve the problem of, I don't even think it's 10, I think it's 20 years down the road. But anyway, you want to solve the problem 20 years down the road?